Did you know that 65% of popular car models have major reliability issues that show up right after their warranty expires? Dealerships know about these problems but keep pushing these models because they make a fortune on repairs. In today's video, we're pulling back the curtain on 15 popular cars that mechanics absolutely dread working on. Number 15. The Nissan Altima, 2020 to 2024. 3 out of 4 mechanics say the latest Altima is like a subscription to repair bills. And there's a fascinating story behind this popular but problematic sedan. While Nissan sold an incredible 128,000 units in 2023 alone, this car represents everything wrong with modern automotive cost-cutting. Mechanics report seeing these transmissions fail as early as 60,000 miles, with repair bills averaging $4,000. Even worse, the electrical system seems designed to self-destruct right after the warranty expires. We're talking about everything from failed power windows to complete computer system shutdowns. But those transmission headaches are just the start. Up next is an SUV that proves fancy features can't hide outdated engineering. Number 14. The Ford Edge. The Ford Edge perfectly demonstrates how marketing can mask mediocrity. Despite being a design from 2014 with minor updates, Ford somehow convinced over 100,000 people to buy one in 2023 alone. It's like buying a smartphone from 2014 at 2024 prices. Here's where things get really interesting. Ford asks $38,465 for a new Edge, while their own Explorer, a bigger, more modern, and better-equipped SUV, starts at $36,760. The Edge's ancient platform dates back to when flip phones were still popular, yet Ford keeps selling it with just enough chrome trim to mask its age. Mechanics consistently report issues with its turbocharged engines, problematic water pumps, and electrical systems that seem to have a mind of their own. The Edge's transmission is known to develop shuddering problems around 60,000 miles. One certified Ford technician told us he sees at least 3 Edges every week with the same issues: rough shifting, mysterious electrical gremlins, and suspension components that wear out far too early. Number 13. The Jeep Grand Wagoneer. While the Edge disappoints, our next luxury SUV proves that a premium badge doesn't always mean premium quality. The Grand Wagoneer represents one of the most ambitious yet problematic attempts to enter the luxury SUV market. While the original Grand Wagoneer from the 1960s earned its legendary status through genuine innovation, this modern interpretation tells a different story. Jeep wants buyers to forget that their $92,540 starting price puts this vehicle in direct competition with established luxury giants. Despite its impressive 510 horsepower engine and premium badging, early owners report persistent quality issues that would make those original Wagoneer engineers shake their heads. We're talking about electronics that randomly reboot while driving, air suspensions that fail in cold weather, and interior materials that start deteriorating within months. The most telling statistic? Service departments report that Grand Wagoneers spend 30% more time in the shop than Range Rovers. And that's saying something. Now here's a surprise. This next vehicle proves that even Lexus can forget what made it famous. Number 12. The Lexus NX. Here's a surprising entry that proves how marketing can cloud judgment. In 2023, over 74,000 people chose the Lexus NX, believing they were buying Toyota reliability with luxury trim. But they got neither. Starting at $40,605, the NX competes with the Volvo XC40 and BMW X3, but it falls short in ways that would shock loyal Lexus fans. The problems start with its overcomplicated hybrid system. Unlike Toyota's proven hybrid technology, the NX uses a more complex setup that mechanics describe as a nightmare to diagnose. The touchpad infotainment system isn't just frustrating to use but prone to expensive failures. But here's the real shocker. Despite its compact size, the NX actually costs more to maintain than the larger RX model. Owners report frequent issues with the power liftgate, climate control system, and those fancy LED headlights that cost over $1,800 each to replace. One owner's service records showed $5,000 in repairs just after the warranty expired. But if you think a luxury Lexus with reliability issues is bad, wait until you see what's next. It's a perfect example of how marketing hype can mask real problems. Number 11. The Acura RDX. While nearly 40,000 buyers chose this luxury crossover in 2023, they weren't just buying a vehicle. They were buying into clever marketing that masked serious engineering compromises. Picture this. Acura's marketing team boldly claims the RDX beats the BMW X3 in performance and features. That's like saying a high school basketball team could outplay the NBA champions. Service records tell a different story, though. The RDX's complex all-wheel drive system, which Acura calls super handling, often becomes super expensive to repair after 60,000 miles. These problems stem from Acura trying to match German engineering without the proper development time. Are these automotive nightmares surprising you so far? Hit that like button to help other buyers avoid these costly mistakes. Stick around. The next batch of popular but problematic vehicles might include one sitting in your driveway right now. But if you think luxury brand maintenance costs are shocking, wait until you hear about this next family car that's causing headaches in driveways across America. Number 10. The Chevrolet Malibu. The Malibu's story reads like a textbook example of how not to update a family sedan. Despite selling an astonishing 130,341 units in 2023, this car hasn't seen a major redesign since 2016, which is like using an iPhone 6 in 2025 and expecting modern performance. Starting at $25,000, the Malibu seems like a bargain until you dig deeper. While the 1.5-liter turbocharged engine promises good fuel economy, it has a disturbing tendency to develop carbon buildup issues around 70,000 miles. Cleaning this costs upwards of $800, and it's not a one-time fix. But here's what really stings. The cost cutting is so extreme that even basic safety features standard on a Toyota Camry cost extra on the Malibu. We're talking about a car that makes the Honda Accord look like a Rolls-Royce in comparison, yet somehow keeps convincing buyers it's a smart choice. If you think that's bad, check out what happened when this next brand tried to reinvent a classic. Number 9. The Chrysler 300. The Chrysler 300 tried to capture the magic of classic American luxury, echoing the grandeur of those massive chrome-laden sedans from the 1950s. But while the original 300 letter series cars were engineering marvels that dominated NASCAR, this modern version tells a very different story. For 14 years, Chrysler kept building essentially the same car while the world moved on. Starting at $36,145, it's like paying new car prices for technology from the Obama administration. The platform dates back to when MySpace was still popular, yet dealerships somehow convinced buyers this was a proper luxury car. The real problems start around 60,000 miles when the electrical system begins its slow descent into chaos. Even worse, the 5.7-liter Hemi V8 engine, while powerful, has a nasty habit of developing expensive valve train issues that can cost upwards of $4,000 to fix. But here's the real shocker. Even Toyota stumbled with our next entry. Number 8. The Toyota CHR. The CHR stands for Coupe High Rider, but owners quickly learned it should stand for Constant Headache Required. Despite wearing the trusted Toyota badge, this crossover breaks every rule that made Toyota famous for reliability. Imagine combining the worst aspects of different vehicle types. That's the CHR. It has less cargo space than most compact cars, worse visibility than a sports car, and the acceleration of a garden tractor. The 2.0-liter engine struggles so much that one Toyota technician compared it to watching paint dry while stuck in traffic. The biggest irony was that Toyota designed this car to attract young buyers, but priced it so that only older buyers could afford it. Then they gave it tiny rear windows that make backing up feel like a blind trust exercise. No wonder Toyota finally pulled the plug on this model, but not before thousands of buyers got stuck with a crossover that's neither practical nor fun to drive. Do you have a car horror story? Share it in the comments below. Your experience could save someone thousands. Next up is an SUV that proves throwing a bigger engine at your problems doesn't make them go away. Number 7. The Ford Escape. The Ford Escape is what happens when a car company forgets what made its SUVs great in the first place. Back in 2001, the original Escape helped create America's love affair with compact SUVs. It was rugged, reliable, and had real Ford truck DNA. Fast forward to today, and that fighting spirit is gone. Modern Escapes, starting at $29,495, seem designed to disappoint. Over 140,000 people bought one in 2023, probably remembering those tough early models. But today's Escape feels more like a half-hearted attempt at chasing the RAV4's success. The problems go beyond the bland styling that makes it invisible in parking lots. The 1.5-liter EcoBoost engine, despite its fancy name, develops carbon buildup issues that can cost $1,000 to fix. The transmission has a personality all its own, sometimes smooth, sometimes jerking like a rookie learning to drive stick. The Escape used to be the SUV you'd recommend to your family. Now it's the one you warn them about. Speaking of warnings, our next vehicle shows how taking a legendary name and cutting corners can create an expensive nightmare. Number 6. The Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. Imagine taking one of the most beloved sport compact names from the 1990s and putting it on a crossover that wouldn't win a race against a loaded minivan. That's exactly what Mitsubishi did with the Eclipse Cross. This isn't just a bad car. It's a betrayal of everything the Eclipse name once stood for. While the original Eclipse dominated street racing scenes and starred in The Fast and the Furious, this cross version struggles to merge onto highways. The 1.5-liter turbocharged engine sounds more stressed than a college student during finals week. But that's just the beginning. Early owners report CVT transmission issues that make the car feel like it's always in the wrong gear. With a reliability score that would make a British sports car look dependable, this crossover manages to combine the worst aspects of modern car design. But at least that made sense compared to what happened with this next family favorite. Number 5. The Dodge Grand Caravan. Back in 1984, the Grand Caravan helped create the minivan revolution, changing how families traveled forever. But by 2020, its final year, it had become a shadow of its former glory. At $36,145, Dodge kept selling what was essentially a vehicle designed when flip phones were cutting-edge technology. Sure, it had those clever stow-and-go seats that folded into the floor, probably the van's only real innovation in the past decade. But underneath that aging sheet metal lurked expensive problems waiting to drain bank accounts. The 3.6-liter Pentastar 5.6 engine struggled, despite making 283 horsepower. Mechanics report timing chain failures that cost $2,500 to fix, transmission issues that appear around 60,000 miles, and electrical problems that would confuse anyone. Do you find these car insights helpful? Subscribe for more honest automotive advice that could save you big money. And if you think selling outdated family vehicles is bad, wait until you see how this next manufacturer tried to fool luxury car buyers. Number 4. The Ford Explorer. The Ford Explorer is a perfect example of how not to update an iconic SUV. The Explorer name once stood for rugged adventure and family-friendly capability. Today, it's more like a cautionary tale of modern automotive complexity gone wrong. Starting at $36,760, the Explorer looks impressive on paper, but in reality, it's like a Hollywood movie set. Impressive facade, questionable construction. The 2.3-liter EcoBoost engine, while powerful, has more issues than a celebrity's Twitter feed. Carbon buildup, turbo failures, and water pump problems can cost upwards of $1,800 to fix because, get this, the entire engine has to be lifted to replace it. But here's the real tragedy. Ford's 10-speed automatic transmission seems to have 10 different ways to fail. One Ford Master technician confessed, "We see more Explorers for transmission problems than any other issue. It's gotten so bad we keep transmission parts in stock just for these models." Think that's surprising? Wait till you hear how this trusted truck lost its way. Number 3. The Toyota Tundra, 2020 to 2021. While Toyota built its reputation on reliability, this Tundra somehow missed the memo. The aging design dated back to when smartphones were becoming popular, and it showed in every way possible. Sure, Toyota added modern features like Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is kind of like putting new tires on an old truck. But underneath that dated exterior lived a V8 engine that drank fuel like a college freshman at their first party. It earned the dubious honor of having the worst fuel economy in its class. The towing capacity fell so far behind competitors that it was like bringing a bicycle to a motorcycle race. But if an outdated truck sounds bad, wait until you see how the same manufacturer managed to ruin one of their most trusted nameplates. Number 2, the Toyota Corolla, 2020 to 2023. Here's a plot twist nobody expected. A Corolla making our nightmare list. The Corolla name used to mean bulletproof reliability and common-sense transportation. But starting at $23,505, the 12th generation Corolla proves that even legends can lose their way. While Honda completely redesigned the Civic into a modern masterpiece, Toyota kept serving yesterday's leftovers with a side of mediocrity. The engine feels about as energetic as a sloth on sleeping pills, and the interior quality makes rental cars look luxurious. But here's the real heartbreaker. These issues aren't just annoying, they're expensive. The CVT transmission, supposedly designed for efficiency, often develops shudder problems that can cost $3,000 to fix. It's like Toyota forgot everything that made the Corolla America's trusted economy car. And finally, our number 1 spot goes to an SUV that proves even legends can fall from grace. Number 1, the Jeep Grand Cherokee. While the original 1993 Grand Cherokee revolutionized the SUV market by combining luxury with genuine off-road capability, today's version tells a very different story. In showrooms, it impresses with soft leather, bright screens, and that iconic 7-slot grille. But beneath the polished surface lies a web of expensive problems. The air suspension system fails so regularly that dealerships keep replacement parts on hand, like common maintenance items. The 3.6-liter Pentastar 5.6 engine, once a proud example of American engineering, develops serious issues after 60,000 miles. Oil consumption becomes erratic, cooling systems fail without warning, and the electrical system behaves like it's haunted as power windows, smart keys, and dashboard screens seem to have minds of their own. Even basic maintenance costs nearly double what other luxury SUV owners pay. A simple brake job that costs $400 on a Toyota Highlander often runs over $800 on the Grand Cherokee. The Grand Cherokee's story really hits home for longtime Jeep fans. That legendary 7-slot grille used to mean adventure, reliability, and the freedom to go anywhere. Now it mostly means frequent trips to the mechanic. It's amazing how something that started out revolutionizing the SUV market ended up becoming the poster child for expensive problems and broken dreams. And there you have it, 15 popular cars that could empty your wallet. Remember, what looks good in the showroom isn't always reliable on the road. Speaking of saving money, our next video busts common fuel myths that waste your cash at the pump. You won't believe how much money these fuel myths cost drivers every year. Hit subscribe if you want to keep more money in your pocket and less in your mechanics. We'll see you in the next video, where we separate fuel facts from expensive myths.